Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I want you all to check out this beautiful card. This is the 1915 American Caramel E106 card of Germany Schaefer, pictured on the Newark Federal League. I really like this card for its overall beauty, with its horizontal orientation, the player in a fielding position, backed by green grass, the bluish-green tree line, and an absolutely breathtaking red and orange sky. This image takes me back in time, and it makes me feel like I'm watching a game of the Forgotten Federal League at sunset. However, besides its great beauty, I'm equally intrigued by the player on the card. So let me introduce to you Germany Schaefer. Herman A. Schaefer was born to German immigrant parents in Chicago's South Side Levee District on February 4th, 1876. Schaefer, nicknamed Germany, played baseball in Chicago's sandlots as a kid before signing on with a semi-pro club in 1898. Making his major league debut on October 5th, 1901, with the National League Chicago Orphans, later named Cubs in 1902, the 24-year-old Schaefer was known as an infielder with decent range and an average bat. Schaefer had impeccable timing and more than once delighted fans with clutch performances. He did partake in a bit of history on September 13th, 1902, when he played third base in the game that featured Joe Tinker, Johnny Evers, and Frank Chance in their familiar spots in the infield together for the very first time. However, after the 1902 season, the Cubs returned Schaefer to the minor leagues due to a terrible .196 batting average. In 1905, the struggling Detroit Tigers were in desperate need of middle infielders. Schaefer, purchased from Milwaukee, joined the team and fit in immediately. In 1905, he led American League second baseman in putouts while hitting .244 with 9 triples. The Prince, as he was often called because of his flashy showmanship on the field, always enjoyed performing in front of his hometown crowd. And on May 24, 1906, he turned in one of the most memorable games of his career. Schaefer was called on to pinch hit with 2 outs in the ninth, a runner on base, and his Tigers down by a run. According to teammate Davy Jones in The Glory of Their Times, Germany announced to the crowd, "Ladies and gentlemen, you are now looking at Herman Schaefer, better known as Herman the Great, acknowledged by one and all to be the greatest pinch hitter in the world. I am now going to hit the ball into the left field bleachers. Thank you." Facing Chicago's Doc White, Schaefer proceeded to hit the first pitch into the left field bleachers for a game-winning homer. As he made his way around the diamond, Germany supposedly slid into every base, announcing his progress as if it were a horse race as he went around. Schaefer leads at the half, and so on. After hook sliding into home, he popped up, doffed his cap, bowed, and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes this afternoon's performance. I thank you for your kind attention." Once, while facing Rue Waddell, one of his favorite targets for verbal abuse, Schaefer reportedly launched a long home run out of Philadelphia's Columbia Park and razzed the left-hander as he trotted around the bases. Carrying his bat with him, Schaefer pretended it was a gun, shooting Rube as he moved from bag to bag. Among Schaefer's other supposed antics, during a steady rain, he once appeared at the plate wearing rubber boots and a raincoat, and he once ventured to the plate sporting a fake black mustache. In both instances, his outlandish behavior reportedly resulted in his ejection. An observer once wrote, "Herman Schaefer, second baseman and principal property of the Detroit infield, is one of the few ball players whose value to a team is not shown by statistics." In 1907, Schaefer was named captain of the Tigers, whom he helped to back-to-back pennants. Germany was one of the few Tigers who befriended Ty Cobb, and he was a key figure in the Tigers' late-season drive to win the 1907 pennant. Schaefer was a master of the hidden ball trick, which he performed in the 1907 World Series. Despite his popularity in Detroit, late in 1909, Schaefer was traded to the Washington Senators. In 1911, he enjoyed his finest offensive season, batting .334 in 125 games. On August 4th, 1911, in the bottom of the ninth, Schaefer stole second, hoping to draw a throw and allow teammate Clyde Millen, who was on third with the potential winning run, to steal home. White Sox catcher Fred Payne didn't fall for the gambit. However, so Schaefer, now on second, took his lead toward the first base side of the bag and promptly stole first on a subsequent pitch. Sox manager Hugh Duffy came out to argue, and while Duffy jawed with umpire Tommy Connolly, Schaefer scampered from second again. This time, Schaefer got caught in a rundown, and had been his intention, and Milan dashed for home, where he was nipped to end the inning. Schaefer and his teammates then argued unsuccessfully that the play should be nullified because the White Sox had 10 players on the field, although Duffy hadn't been an active player since 1908. The official score credited Schaefer with only one stolen base, but he had a perfect right to go from second back to first, umpire Connolly insisted after the game. In 1920, stealing bases in reverse order was officially outlawed in baseball. During his last few years with Washington, for whom he played through 1914, Germany spent more time in the coach's box than on the field. Always willing to entertain the crowd, Schaefer continued to fine-tune his crazed antics as a player-coach. He was once ejected from the game in Chicago on June 8, 1912, for eating popcorn in the coach's box. Schaefer also began to perform tricks like tightrope walking the foul line and using 2 bats to row across the grass. His performances were later incorporated by baseball clowns Nick Altrock and Al Schacht. After a stint with Newark in the short-lived Federal League in 1915, pictured in this card here, Schaefer served as player and coach for the Yankees in 1916 and the Indians in 1918. John McGraw hired Schaefer as a scout in 1919, but when Germany was taking a train through upstate New York on May 16th, he died suddenly of a hemorrhage in Saranac Lake. The 42-year-old had been battling pulmonary tuberculosis. Detroit sports writer Malcolm Bengay eulogized, Germany Schaefer was the soul of baseball itself, with all of its sorrows and joys, the born troubadour of the game. I hope you all have enjoyed seeing this beautiful card and hearing the intriguing story of a player who is remembered for his crazed antics on the field, but who also inspired rule changes to the game. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep hunting the good stuff.